Well, it is Tuesday, and essentially I have been teaching like this. Yes, in the dark. I have had to have both lights off in order for our classroom to remain somewhat, well, I guess just not so hot, to keep us kind of around that 77, 78 temperature range opposed to the 81, 82. So yes, I have been teaching in the dark these last 2 days. My air conditioner has not been on its normal schedule. On today, Tuesday, it should have been on all day. Last week, Tuesday, the AC was on when I came in, but today it was not, and it did not kick in at 11:40. It kicked in a little bit around 12:15. Y'all, I dismissed at 1:50, so yeah. But the kiddos stayed focused, and we got lots of learning done, and we just kind of had to do that. All of my different things are falling off of this here air conditioner because I keep having to open and close it. I have to open and close the air here and here in order to access like the panel, so everything is kind of falling off. But yeah, I just wanted you to see the temperature is 72 degrees. I've been cooling it down since 12. It says 4, but that's not right. It's around 3:15, so this is about an hour off, but it doesn't say service. Last time it said service. And then y'all look over here, I had to put a fan, so I had to be strategic. I placed a fan here, and then I have a fan back here in the back of the class. So that's been kind of keeping us cool. My principal let me know that her air is out. I was like, oh my gosh. She did kind of a check into, I'm putting some things back, but she was checking into the classes, just checking on us. You know how principals do their rounds. And she was just like, my air is out. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I have other colleagues whose air is out as well. So it's just hot where I am and humid. And it's just really, not the best conditions for especially these older kind of air conditioners. But yeah, so we got a couple people in my school who are currently without air. I'm not the only one, but it's still, I don't know if that makes me feel any better. I still need the air in order to function. But anyway, I digress. Today is hump day, and y'all, my students have started to bring me flowers. How sweet. You remember last year, I think I showed you guys the mini flowers, the kind of dead flowers or the weeds that my students would pick off the ground and give to me. Well, it is happening. It is starting, and I just feel so fortunate and so blessed. It's so funny, though. They're like, I got this for you. We've been starting and being able to have recess a little bit more because it hasn't been raining as much during the time of our recess. So they've been getting outside a little bit more. They've been hot because we are still having a lot of hot weather. We're kind of like almost in a heat advisory where I am. But yeah, but they're getting out and they're picking weeds. And y'all, oh my gosh, the little ants that come off of those little weeds. I'm just like, they're everywhere. It's like you think you get one little flower. It's like a million of those little ants. But anyway, how sweet is that? That's very kind. Also, I want to just thank you guys. I know a couple of you let me know and shared what time you go to your lunch. Y'all, we all going early. Oh my gosh, we're all elementary. Those who responded and commented, we're all elementary school, and we're going to lunch between that kind of like that 10 and 11 o'clock hour. Let me tell you, so what I started doing is this. I recognize that in this heat in my classroom, I can't miss eating. I could kind of, I'm not really a morning eater, but with all this heat, I'm drinking a lot of water. A lot of this heat in my classroom, I'm drinking a lot of water, but I'm needing to eat. So I've been eating like fruit. I've been eating just like light crackers. Even if I have something to eat like an actual meal, just like a little bit like beans or rice, just like little light things. And then I'm saving the heavier food for when I dismiss the kiddos. And so that's actually been working out really well. Now today is Wednesday. Today is hump day. And I expected my air to be on yesterday all day, which was Tuesday. If I think about like the pattern that the timer has been kind of operating on, I was thinking that it was coming on Tuesday all day. but it was off yesterday and it was hot, and I was just, I showed you I was working in darkness and had both lights off to keep the temperature down. But today when I came in, I was pleasantly surprised. I've got even my jacket on because it's cold in here. So today my air was on all day. And guys, I'm just like, it was just an easy day. I'm just like, when this air condition gets fixed and all these woes are behind me, all this hot weather, I'm going to be like skipping along because it is difficult. I didn't realize how difficult it is to like work in all of this heat and just, sweating and being agitated. So today was like a breeze. We got so much work done. We're getting work done on the other days, but today, I don't know, maybe I was laughing more, maybe the kiddos were laughing more, but it seemed like it made the day go by a little bit faster, and it seemed like it was just a lighter, easier day. So yeah. And for you guys who share with me that y'all were having or have had in the past issues with your air, how long did it take for them to fix your air? I'm just curious. Let me know, because I literally was like saying to myself, Shay, this is, first of all, it's not going to happen all year. Like, this cannot happen all year. Like, we're going to have to get this done. And then I was like, it's going to have to stop because I really need the air to be working. I don't need to fight that battle. Now, I know like someone was saying, well, we'll just go to a different room. Well, how about the ACs in those rooms for my colleagues who are shifting and going to other rooms because their ACs are breaking down? Those ACs are breaking down. So it's like no guarantee. If I go to another room and start off, that could break down. And then what? Go to another room. So really what we need is we need all of us. I am leading the pack, especially me. I need someone to come in here and fix my timer so I can have air. So y'all, that's what I'm praying for. And not just for me, but for all of us, right? Yeah, we just need that to happen. I need that to happen. I need that to happen today. So tomorrow is Thursday. I'm hoping the air is on. We're going to see. Now, yesterday on Tuesday, the air did tick on. I don't know if I said it though, but yeah, it did not come on. It came on a little bit later. It came on about noonish. And I was like, when I ticked it on at 11:40, I was like, no, what? So anyway, that's enough about that with the air. Yeah, it's kind of been taking up my full conversation with you guys talking about that air. Sorry. So you guys, I don't know. I clicked something over here, and I don't know if it's affected my timer, but my air kicked on, and it is 8:15. I don't know if the two are connected, but I just kind of did a click there. Look at that. I'm not sure. I'm going to talk to my AP to see. Hooray! Today was a fantastic day. When I came in, my air was on. That's a win. I actually talked to my administration. I talked to my assistant principal, at least one of them, and he particularly said that he checked my AC and saw that it is a timer issue, right? That's what I've been saying. He didn't feel like that knob that I showed you was the issue, but he did say that he's trying to get like a code to key in because my air conditioner in particular is like locked to where you can't really access it when it's asking for the code to change the timer. So I'm just so thankful. Thank y'all for your prayers because you know what, it changes things, and I'm so thankful that in fact we're working on it and to resolve it and to get it fixed once and for all. Y'all, I wanted to share this story with you that I just read about 2 days ago on TikTok, and I don't even have TikTok, so I'm not even sure how I got this story in my feed, but whatever. It was really interesting. And y'all, okay, so this is pretty much what it is. There's a parent of a kindergartner who wrote an email to the teacher basically saying that she was opting out of her and her son like completing homework. And I was kind of like, whoa, I was taken aback because I was like, I've never heard of that as being an option. But she was pretty much more or less saying that she was sharing that she was doing that as a kind of a public service announcement to let other parents know that that is something that I guess that she feels like you can do. Now, her kiddo goes to a charter school. I'm in a public school. I don't know if it's different, but I know here in the public school in my district, parents can do what they want. Like, parents essentially can do what they want with their kids, but it's not something that, accept, I guess, for lack of a better word. Yeah, I've never really heard of that. And pretty much, I know at my school, the teacher has an option as to whether or not they want to grade homework, and we grade homework. And so I was like, okay, are she opting out of her kid getting that grade, or is her kid not getting? If they are grading, like, how does that really look? But what I thought was really interesting was this. I really thought some of her reasons were really interesting, and I really wanted to talk about them on today's video. I wanted you guys to weigh in on it. I'm going to weigh in on it a little bit and kind of see where we land, and kind of for us to share what we think pretty much about this. Yeah, pretty interesting stuff. So I have my notes down here because I don't want to miss a thing. I just want to make sure I capture everything that she said. So pretty much she said that in August, when her kiddos started school, the teacher handed handed the kiddos a packet of about 40 pages. She was saying 20 pages front and back, so about 40 pages of homework for the month, okay? Not for the week, but for the month. And pretty much was like, okay, return this back to the classroom, with your kiddo at the end of the month. And I kind of think that might be overwhelming, that might be too much work for, someone to receive all at once. So I think she was kind of overwhelmed, because she said she was kind of like, oh my gosh, okay. So she was saying that she got the homework packet. She knows she had to turn it back in, but that it was taking a lot of time, away from her son, like her son doing all this work, crying, not wanting to do it, fighting against her, was taking a lot of time. And, he wasn't able to watch TV, I guess, play on his games or do some other things that he wanted to do. So he was starting to resent, the work and not wanting to do it. And then it kind of carried over to him crying and not wanting to go to school. So she said that she was really, having a fight with him, kind of go back and forth with him about it, and that it was making her cry. It was making her feel guilty. It was making her kiddo cry. She felt that it was making him not want to learn, not want to go to school, to hate learning, to hate school. And she really felt that it was leaving like a bad taste, in a sense, in his mouth. And she said that she was feeling extremely guilty and crying about this, which I totally understand, because as you all know, if you have kids or if you're a teacher, the kids are crying and they're complaining and they're like, don't want to do it. And as a parent, it really is a lot. It's stressful when you have to really fight your kid to get something done. And it just causes a whole heap of trouble, or it opens up a whole new can of worms. So she said that she wanted her kiddo to really essentially work to live and not live to work. So she felt like that it was really unbalanced. And she said that morning when she was really fighting with her kid and he wasn't, wanting to do the work, and she just kind of had it, those moments where you had it up to here. She just shot off an email to the teacher, a very nice email, but letting the teacher know that that she and her kiddo were not doing any more homework, and that he was going to have to get all of that work done in class. Now, y'all, let me read to you the definition of homework, because I thought this was really interesting. So the Webster's Dictionary definition of homework is a set of tasks assigned to students by their teacher to be completed at home. Now, I read that and I was like, I don't necessarily know if that kind of encompasses it, but I really want to say homework is a set of assignments or skills that need reinforcement at home. So in order for a child to master it. So in school, we're teaching a lot of standards, we're teaching a lot of different concepts and a lot of skills. And some of those skills need to be, not all of them per se, but some of them need to actually be reinforced at home in order for the child to master them. It's almost like they need to have more exposure, right, to the skill in order for them to, I got it. Not just, I think I have it, but I've mastered it. And that's what we want. Certain skills in kindergarten need to be mastered. And the only way they can be mastered is more reinforcement than we can give in classroom, hence the homework. Now, homework is not like an opportunity for parents to roll out and teach a new skill to their kiddo, but it's actually just reinforcement of a skill that I have taught in my classroom. So I don't expect a parent to teach a kid about nouns and that's the first time they've heard about nouns. No, I've talked about nouns. We reviewed nouns. We've gone over nouns, now for a couple of days. Now I want them to do some work on nouns at home to kind of reinforce that, to make sure that they're understanding that. So yeah, homework is not essentially classwork. The kiddo doesn't complete or doesn't finish and they do it at home, but it's actually work at home. They've already completed their classwork. Now we just want reinforcement of a skill or an assignment at home. So, there's a difference, I think, in that. I think some parents may think like, oh, the classwork didn't get done, do it for homework. And it's like, no, they've already done that. Now I need more reinforcement to make sure that they have mastery of this skill, right? Now, y'all, I had to do it. I went ahead and I had to look at our homework packets. And our homework packets for September, I was like, because I have heard, at our school, I have heard parents say, y'all give a lot of homework. When people find out what school I work at, they're like, oh, the school that gives a lot of homework. I haven't personally received a text or an email from a parent saying it's too much work, I'm opting out. But I have heard in the wind that, our reputation at my school is a lot of homework. Well, y'all know I had to do it. I went to look to see how much homework and how many pages. Now we're 3 weeks into September, y'all. We have given out 40 to 50, I think I want to say 50 pages of homework already. Now, I know you're going to be like, oh my gosh, Shay, that's a lot. But y'all, look, even though it's the pages, it's not the pages, but it's the time spent on the pages. And this is what I mean. So we have this formula where pretty much it says, okay, if you have a kiddo that's 5 years old, they should be doing about 30 to 45 minutes of homework a night. So, that roughly rounds up to about 3 to 4 hours maybe, of homework each week. But about 45 minutes. Now, let me tell you, that time is going to be longer or shorter. Number one, depending on if the kiddo understands that skill already. Because sometimes the kid's like, oh, this is easy. And they do it in 5 minutes. Literally, they'll complete, for instance, I'm over math in my grade level. And I may give 3 to 4 worksheets a night. But it's not like it's taking them a long time. I've seen them, the kiddos where I've gone over to aftercare and watched them do their work. Or I've gone over there to do whatever. Some kids, they're done in 15 minutes just with the math of those 4 worksheets. Now, if they're cutting and gluing, it may take them a little bit longer. So, it's not necessarily the amount of worksheets, but the length of time that assignment is taken, if that makes sense. Now, I do know that you have other kiddos who, they're pushing against their parents, or they don't want to do it, and they're laying down, I don't want to do it. And so it's taking them longer to get done the homework or to complete the homework because they don't want to do it. So if you don't want to do it, it's taking you longer. If your parents are trying to help you with the homework and I don't want to do it, and you're complaining, well, you know what? That half an hour, 45 minutes can easily equal an hour or an hour and a half. You could be pulling out your hair as a parent. The child could be whining. So I was thinking some behaviors maybe, or kiddos not wanting parents to help them with their homework, maybe causing the length of time to be longer. But essentially, we follow a formula that says kids, this is an appropriate amount of time for the kiddo to be spending, on homework. So I give about 15 to 20 minutes, and then the reading, my co-teacher, well, not my co-teacher, but my work bestie, she's over the reading. She gives about 20 minutes, and so together about 40 minutes. But like I said, it could take longer depending on whether the kid wants to do it, if they're whining, complaining, if they, Now, I also, okay, let me tell you this. So now when the parent said that they handed her a packet and the packet had those 40 sheets, like I said, that's kind of overwhelming. But if you break it down for each week, I don't know, to me that sounds about right. It sounds about right. Not the number of sheets, but like I said, the number of time. Now, I will tell you, one of my colleagues, she's got kiddos that are in she's got kiddos, actually one in high school, one in middle school, and one in elementary school. But one of her kiddos, she had to put them in aftercare because she was just like, Shay, I'm fighting with them and they don't want to do the work, and it's taking so long until it's running into time for me to prepare dinner, or it's just too much. She was like, it's really too stressful for her and for her kid. And so she had the finances, and she just made the decision, even though I can help my kid with this work, I got to move them over to aftercare, because she was just like, it's too much. It's too stressful for me to try to teach them, and they're fighting me, and I have other things to do. I have other kids. So I can understand, if you have a kiddo who's, like I said, fighting against you, you may have to say, you know what, I need to get a tutor, or I need to put him in a program to where they can get it done. And so when she asked for feedback from the persons in the program that's, helping her kiddo with their homework, they're like, oh no, it's done. It's done in I think they said maybe 35 minutes. I'm talking about all of the homework. And she was like, oh my gosh, Shay, it was taking me like an hour or two. So I was like, maybe that could be, the problem as well. So y'all, listen, I want to know, have you ever received an email or a text from any of the parents of your students to say that we're opting out? Have you heard any pushback? Have you heard of this? Because this was like I said, I was all in. I was like, hey, what's going on when I was reading this? What is happening? I've never, heard of an option to opt out. Like I said, I'm in the public sector. This parent was in the charter school sector, so maybe they've got something going on in the charter school I'm not sure about, but I was like, I actually grade. I don't know if I said it before, but I grade the homework, aspects of the homework, I'll grade. Also, y'all, with my school, we also give kiddos like book reports. So part of the homework is to complete book reports, but also we ask the parents to read 30 minutes to their kiddo every night, as well, and they have to log it, right? Because I grade that at the end of the 9 weeks, and kiddos have to do like iReady, which is computer-based work. They have to do that, about 45 minutes of reading and 45 minutes of math every week, that I grade as well. So it's not just this packet, right? But it's also reading to your child, iReady, it's also book reports. So I was like, wow. I didn't really think that, that parent, when she was saying 40 pages, it didn't sound necessarily unreasonable. Maybe the number of pages, but like I said, the time spent, she might be having trouble or running into issue because her kiddo is pushing against her. Maybe, I don't know. She never did follow up to say whether or not the teacher accepted the email or accepted what she would say. She never followed up, at least not yet, to pretty much say what the teacher's response is or was, and then how they kind of work that out. Now, one of the things I will say, parents, if you are feeling like, okay, this is too much, partner with the teacher. A lot of times I think teachers are reasonable. I'm a teacher, so that's what I think. But you can talk with us, because then we'll say, okay, this is why, or okay, what issue are you having, or this what we can do, this what can happen to help. Maybe your kid needs to go to, like I said, aftercare program, or maybe, somebody else needs to help them with their homework if they're fighting against you. Because like I said, I don't know if I said it, but the parent was saying she was crying. Her child was crying. It was a boy. He was crying. And she felt guilty. And she just said, I can't keep doing this. And I was like, wow, if that kiddo is in kindergarten, and this is just the beginning, what is it going to look like in first grade, in second grade, And I do know a lot of people say that's why they'll choose to homeschool, which, I love homeschooling, or they'll, choose other alternatives to the regular, school system or the regular route of education, because sometimes they feel like this system is just too much, and it's really not, cranking out thinkers. It's just cranking out kids who are just producing and just regurgitating opposed to really thinking. Now, I'm looking at my notes, because one thing she says that, all that work and homework was affecting her kid's mental health, emotional health, causing him stress, that he was working to live and not living to work. Or I guess, I don't know if I said that wrong. He's living to work and not working to live. I don't know how I said that, but you get the gist. She just basically doesn't want him to work so much and feel like, I've got to do this. I'm chained to this, but she wants him to live life, essentially is what she's trying to say. So y'all, I thought this was a really interesting topic. Now, let me also, because, I had to do a little research. Now, the NEA, which is the National Education Association, says that kindergartners should not have any homework. When I saw that, I was like, what? It said kindergartens should not have any homework. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay, hadn't heard that before. So I'm glad I kind of researched it. But yeah, like I said, at my school, we're giving homework. At my grade level, we're giving, multiple, like I said, just for the first 3 weeks of September, about 50, worksheets. We'll probably end with 60 worksheets. That's between, math and reading, or any type of, social studies or science. We also have projects thrown in there. But again, it's not the number of worksheets. It's just the number of time spent on them. And maybe the issue that she was having was, they were fighting, or her son really wasn't wanting to do it and it was taking longer, yada yada. So y'all let me know, like I said, what do you think about this? Have you ever been in a school that does not give homework? Do you think that homework should be given, or do you not? Do you kind of, side with the mom and saying it's too much, or, what do you think? So share your thoughts with me. Let me know. I thought this was a really interesting topic. Yeah, let me know, y'all.